Yeah, sugar day too. Money you go country like it. Waiting for bed. Make I take you to my bed. Yeah, sugar day too. Money you go country like it. Waiting for bed. Break it, break it, break it, break it. She wants me to break it, break it, break it, break it. Make a mind know, the way she dey fight no. Oh God, do she dey blow my mind know, she dey shake on the dance floor, make a mind know,
And it's a jolly good morning here on the morning mix. Moro. Kaingwas. It is the 11th of January. The year of the Lord 2022. Okay, and welcome to the morning mix. I'm joined here this morning by myself and by Deitzer and Omich
Namap
and behind keeping the fires burning there, on the backstage is none other but Shines Shinetima. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the morning mix. It's a pleasure once again. It's Mutatio Carstens Moro, Masha. Morning, my people. Thanks so much for tuning in. Guys, had a good night's sleep.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Ek is bly om dit te hoor. Koffie?
I think everybody is kind of getting used to the second day of business 2022. Because I think everybody, kind of started yesterday.
Yeah.
Kind of fell into, you must know what it's all about.
It was up to a point just before 4 o'clock yesterday where upstairs, when we were sitting upstairs, Quentin was like, mana, is a maklike dag hierdie nie. I know it is not easy at the moment, maar kyk, let's go half measures now, maar ons sal volgende week sal ons spoed optel.
Ja, volgende week. Ja, I think volgende week ons is allemaal voet op die petrol.
Ja. But I mean, at least you've been here. So jy het die voet van die petrol afgehaal nie.
Yeah.
Me and Kofi, we just came back, so it's not so einfach for us.
The traffic this morning was definitely much more because
You
of
can
the
say that
schools,
again.
no?
But it was a little bit cool still. I
Yeah,
think
it
from
wasn't
next
full
week
blast,
onwards
yeah.
we're gonna have a problem.
Yeah, but like I would agree with you, Kofi, because this morning as we drove down Semnioma Avenue, as we came from the Western Bypass, the traffic was definitely much higher. The frequency of traffic was much higher. But then again, here we are. As much as it is difficult for all of us, we shall adapt. Volgende week.
Devil, do you think it's a good idea to come drive 6 o'clock?
Nee, is te vroeg.
No, it's hopelessly too early.
Yeah, but that's the only time that traffic is like.
Okay,
on the
do you
low.
do that?
No, I wake up at 6.
Yeah.
I start driving 6:30.
There's your answer. Some of us have children.
Yes.
But
ek haat die lyne.
Who likes it?
And you have to go first, go drop the kid, and then come here in town again, struggle with the taxis.
I'm telling you guys that once again, being in Swakop again for the last couple of weeks is just a luxury that, and people who stay at the coast, these Swakop Mundes or whatever,
Yes.
or people who stay in smaller towns generally,
Have it easier.
they have it easier. They have no idea what luxuries they have.
Yes.
And the short distances that they have to travel, especially Swakopmund. I just love Swakop.
But I mean, also in these smaller towns, everybody knows everybody. The
Yeah.
kids can somewhere go to school by bicycle or walk or whatever. You know?
Is there a smaller town that you would like to, if it's not Windhoek, that you would rather want to go and stay? And don't say Keetmans, asseblief.
I was about to say Malde. I'll go to Malde.
Malde.
Malde. Oh.
Malde. Oh.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, Arua.
But why Malte here and
Dis
why
baie
Arua?
stil daar so. It's very quiet.
It's like a whole community. It's like a groot huis.
Nee.
Jy ken die Andes wat klomp kinders groot gemaak het.
Ja.
Is 100 kinders groot gemaak.
Ja.
It's almost like that. Everybody knows each other, and they're really a community that can stand together, and most importantly because of the girls.
But I mean, in Malta here, nothing happens there every 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it lasts for the whole day.
I agree.
And that's
Calvin.
why you have to be there. That's why you have to be there, because jy soek mos rustigheid.
So Mitch, for you, if the duty calls on you to move to the south, that is where you would want to be.
Yeah,
That's
Arua, Stampriet or Malde.
And
Nee.
what
Yeah.
would you do there?
Just gaze upon those Nama's eyes and report on their background.
Why don't you become a priest or something? A religious line.
Yeah, if comedy doesn't work out, I'm becoming a prophet for
Yeah.
real. That's one of the
klomp
things
geld.
that. Yeah, it's by geld.
Yes.
And for you, Kofi, is there another town that you... Tsumeb, ne?
Yes, that's the way to go.
Ne? Yeah.
Coffee would obviously say
And
that.
I'll open up a bookshop.
Yeah. Yeah, ek sê net Masha, it was really not necessary for you to come on our show, and to come and brag about Swakopmund here. Ons moenders geniet dit hier. Windhoek is te bedrywig vir my. Gaan nooit terugtrek. Ja, I'm jealous. Tayshaun sê ons sal nou nie weer die einde van Swakopmund hoor nie. Moro says Prince Anton. Yeah, good morning to you, all of you. Kalfi,
Yes.
let's hear what you have in store for us in the news.
This is Informante Live, and these are our top stories. A worker at Hosea Kutako International Airport was photographed at the check-in out counter showing no concern for COVID-19 regulations or professional behavior. Frontline workers at points of entry not only have to adhere to extremely strict health control measures such as wearing face masks, but are bound by protocol to uphold the best image of Namibia. Executive Director of Health and Social Services Ben Nangombe has issued a stern warning to frontline workers, stating they will face the full wrath of the law when violating public health measures. This warning comes after a frontline worker of the Namibia Airports Company was seen displaying unbecoming behavior at the Hosea Kutako International Airport. The employee, which is yet to be identified, was seen with her feet propped up on a counter whilst not wearing a mask. Nangombe stated that the enforcement of public health regulations as per the law will be enforced by the Namibian police. He stated that if any person is found violating health regulations, they should be reported to the police. And finally, 10 rooms were burnt to ashes at Andre's property in Oraniemund after a man allegedly fell asleep while cooking on Sunday. According to Nampol, head of media chief Inspector Elifas Kuwinga, the incident occurred around midnight. It is alleged that one of the tenants was cooking in his room, but he fell asleep and his room caught fire, he said. Your Trustco share price today, the 11th of January, is at $1.68 per share. Taking a brief look at the financial indicators, the Namibia dollar is trading against the US dollar at 15 Namibia dollars and 70 cents, against the euro at 17 Namibia dollars and 80 cents, and against the British pound at 21 Namibia dollars and 40 cents. This is Informante Live, and these were our top stories. You can find more on our website, which is informante.web.na.
Informante News. Firm but fair.
You know exactly what I'm going to do now.
Ons luister, Duitser.
Shall we open up the can of worms?
Duitser, ons luister vir jou.
What is happening to
Ja,
our country?
ja.
I mean, did you see that woman at the picture that is being going around on social media at the Hosea Kutako International Airport?
Maar Koffie, wat is die probleem?
Julle Hereros en Damaras, nee.
Wat het ons gemaak?
You can't just sit at a public place
Hallo.
and put your feet
Hallo.
up like this.
Hallo. She was on her lunch break.
She was on her lunch break.
Ja.
Rubbish, man.
Kijk,
That was 1600 hours or something like
I
that.
know she's a hero. Me, I know she's a hero.
Oh, no se de
Never, she's a hero. I know. You know she's a hero, never. Because the way she's sitting there, she's so proud.
Ah, yeah. Daar is 'n wamboetjie.
It's not the nicest toes I've ever seen.
Daar
Her name is Charmaine.
Charmaine.
is her name Charmaine.
But
Ah.
it looks like it.
And another thing, the news is saying the woman is yet to be identified. There's a photo of her.
Hallo. And why must white people take pictures of us?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's nonsense. Nee. Asseblief.
How do you know it was a white person?
I know. And one of the reports said it sounded like a German name
No.
took this picture.
Like that's a white person's camera. You can just tell.
Yeah, the camera, the angles. That was investigation. The fish rod investigation. The angles, the videos were shot from. That's a white
Yeah.
person angle, bruh. That's a
Yeah.
white person angle. That angle is a white person angle.
Yeah.
Details.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's really embarrassing. You know what? I mean, for anybody to let's say if we look at our foreign visitors to our country,
Yes.
this is your point of entry into your country.
Exactly.
You sit there with your toenails, unclipped toenails, probably
Yes.
on the counter. Okay, the mask is another issue.
Yes.
Obviously, I got my own little biases about masks and stuff like that. Please don't, quote me on
The thing
that.
is, you know the dangers of that. We are now sitting already with COVID and different variants and Omicron and all that. Now we're going to have foot-in-mouth disease.
Oh, never. Coffee.
Oh.
Never, en ik ken deze hero van, dat is een hele size 7, dat is een groot voet, dat kan niet een damara mee
Kak story, man.
Hello. How did you get foot-in-mouth disease? You know, I
Nonsense.
visited Namibia.
Yeah.
I caught it at the airport.
Joep Nel says here, public space, Neville. Ja. Joep, die vrou was op lunch geweest, okay. Roviera says, die kan nooit 'n nama wees nie. Hulle is kort, for example, Mitch. Ja, so...
They will not even be seen.
Ja. Sien dan maar voete daai nie.
Die voet zal niet op die tafel gaan komen.
Estomich. Hey, Estomich. Wow, good to hear from you, my
Oh,
sister.
Yes, thank you, Estimate.
Good. So whatever. I'm not even gonna read her comment here.
Is toch Mitch?
Good morning, Kofi. Happy New Year.
Dankie.
Greetings from Viking City. Oh, and hi to the other two. Yes. Hoor kom af, Stefanus James Ananias. Feet rot.
But never can she be fired because of
I
that?
think she should be.
She apparently they instituted disciplinary action against her. I don't think she's going to be fired.
But she'll be put up back on her feet again. She's going to toe the line.
She'll be back on her feet again.
Oh my God, man.
Teshon vat gat hierso.
Maar nee, moet nie daai kom wees.
Ja, die mense het dit gesien. Shines, please leave that accent for this year.
That's
Yeah.
Shines is speaking Afrikaans.
My guy, yeah. Los vir Shines eten. That lady must be in a new relationship.
Why?
No, she's just happy.
Was she talking on the phone?
No, she was just sitting there.
Oh my God.
She was just sitting there.
She was probably eating chicken feet.
I'm kurwat. Daitser.
Yeah.
so van masks gepraat en so. What
Okay.
what does our figures look like in terms of coronavirus?
Okay, so our figures as of yesterday, we've got currently 9,113 active cases, so it's gone up just a little bit. Yesterday we were at 8,900, so we are about 200 active cases more today. Daily new cases, we, as of yesterday, 451 new daily cases, and deaths, we had 2 COVID deaths in the country yesterday.
Okay. It's funny that we're standing at 9,000 cases now.
Yes.
These are numbers that we talked about last year, April, May,
Yes.
and it basically just escalated from there up to where we ended up at 30,000 active
30,000,
cases,
Yes.
etc. But I'm so at peace at the moment. The fact that, and you know what, I'm not here to advocate for or against the vaccine or whatever. You guys make your own decisions out there. But from the COVID deaths that we have currently, I do understand that basically all the COVID deaths that we have are of people who are unvaccinated.
Yes.
That is what I understand. That's what the reports are saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it gives me a relief that it does seem like the vaccine does its work. It's doing its job. So I'm not here to advocate for the vaccine. I'm just saying it's very, very clear to me from just my point of view that the vaccine works. So it keeps people alive.
And I'm going to be honest with you, I was really expecting our figures to be more at the end of this festive season.
Nee.
I was expecting maybe about 20,000, 25,000. And we had the major turn at 13,000 and then it came down. So today 9,113 active cases.
Ja, ek moet sê dat I think the fact that, and I don't know if you guys have experienced this, I've met a lot of people over this festive period who wanted to travel outside the country, but had no idea that they were positive.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They only found out when they got tested, which was not the case when the vaccine was not here. You could feel it if you positive, if you tested positive. But now with people being vaccinated, it seems like it creates a good buffer between getting sick and to stay fairly healthy.
Yeah.
And never like our people in the rural areas. We had 2 deaths because of that. I don't know what we can do. The government can do because even in the other news, girls succumbed to a snake bite because there was no transport. 2 people also died because the nearest hospital is far from where they are staying. And I was talking on the show about it, saying, why don't we get these little bikes for the rural areas like in India and so on, where they can transport people from the outskirts.
Yeah. So are you guys going to blame the SWAPO government now again?
Yeah.
Because there are no
Yes.
hospitals
Yes.
Yeah,
in the rural areas.
Neville, these people, if they get flu, they just think it's flu. If they get the symptoms, they just think it's flu. Yeah. And then they sit it out. They just sit it out
Until they
drink
get
that
sicker.
Panadol what, and then it just gets worse and worse. By the time it's in full effect,
Shall we call
there's
it
no
COVID?
transport.
Let's call it COVID.
COVID. Mohausi Bole says, those reports are lies. Y'all will be boosted until kingdom comes. Ek kan nie met so veel gatte op my rondloop nie. Mohau. Yeah, Mohau, personally, I didn't get the booster yet. Okay, I am fully vaccinated. I didn't get the booster yet. I don't feel like I do want to take the booster now. I'll probably take the booster just before winter sets in, probably, God willing, in April. That's when I will take it.
Have you also noticed how the use of sanitizer has come down as well?
Oh yes.
You know, about a year and a half ago, everybody was sanitizing everything, up to the desks in your offices, the door handles, yourself, your face, your ears, everything. Nowadays,
Nee asseblief.
the bottle just stands.
Ek is opgesanitize. Regtig waar.
Yeah.
Ek kan nie dit oef.
Nee,
just can't take it
en
anymore.
die tyd is babalas en jy word gesanitize.
And I think what Aaron is saying here is absolutely right. It's the flu. If you go and just have a look at the timeline from the year 1900 all the way to now, the Spanish flu, during World War I and World War II, there was a big flu outbreak, and the Spanish flu and those outbreaks, they were more than what COVID is at the moment. They were higher. They were
Ja, nee.
more people
Ja,
dying
the Spanish flu, ja.
Yes.
I remember.
So go check it out. It's all available online. Compared to those pandemics,
We called it a whole plague.
COVID is a picnic.
So how many deaths do we have? What's the total of
Total
deaths?
number of deaths in Namibia up to yesterday was 3,726
I mean, a guy who always felt like I needed to wrap my mother in cotton wool to be sure that she's safe. I mean, we traveled freely from Etosha to King Nyale to Omuthia. When we were in Omuthia, we went into a few shops, did some shopping, and we went to Tsumeb. We were in Tsumeb for a while. And I was okay with her traveling with us. I wasn't scared that she can contract the virus.
Right.
But then again, here we are. People, dying. Obviously not at the rate that we had in May, June, July last year. Readiness Congo says, Neville, what's your take on the Novak Djokovic with the Australian tennis saga? Have you guys been following that?
Yes, I have been following that closely.
And what's your take on it, Kalfi?
Well, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Yeah.
It's the rule.
Yeah, it's the rule.
It's Australia is Australia. Australia is not America.
Yes.
Australia has its own laws, and Australia is very known for being extremely strict.
Yeah.
In basically all the laws.
Yeah.
And
I personally think that Novak is. If he would win this, the Australian Open, he would become the most successful male tennis player in the history of the sport, with the number of Grand Slams that he could win if he would win the Australian Open.
he would also be the world's number one anti-vaxxer.
The world's number one anti-vaxxer. But then again, like you rightfully say, Kalfi, Australia has its laws.
Exactly.
And the law of the land said you can't enter this country if you are not vaccinated. So, and Novax knows it. Why he's, he took a stand I think last year, where he was basically saying, you know what, whether I'm vaccinated or not, it's got nothing to do with nobody. Now that's a clear indication that you're not vaccinated.
Yes.
Because if you are vaccinated, you would say that you are vaccinated.
Yeah.
But if you're a tennis player or a sportsman who needs to travel the world over from country to country, you need to know what the law of the land is of that specific country.
Correct.
Yeah. I don't know what you say.
Neville, my whole thing is this. So they will really prevent him from playing. And if he is most anti-vax, right? Anti-vax. So if they prevent him from playing, and he really needs this to win this Open, and this is also putting food on the table for his kids, and he takes it for that, people are gonna. People always create these communities around them. Like as I say, if this celebrity or this influencer says no, I'm not gonna do it, the people that follows him also decides they're not gonna do it. So what happens then? What happens then if he takes it?
So what's your take?
Yeah, I'm saying I would take it. I'll just take the vax and play the game and win it because it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money for just a jab.
but
you must just take the vax.
Yeah, but for him, it's not about the money anymore. I mean, Novak Djokovic is rich beyond measures. He does not need the money. It's a principal issue for him. Okay, so and that is his stand. Okay.
So how many people have really died
Exactly.
of the vaccine?
Yeah, exactly. Good question. But that's his position, unfortunately. But I don't feel, and this is my position, I think it's completely unfair that Djokovic needs to be allowed to play in the Australian Open because he was in the first place not supposed to be allowed into Australia. Okay? So
Why is it unfair?
no, it's unfair towards everybody else. If the law of the land says you cannot enter the country if you are not vaccinated. So what is the holy cow approach
Okay.
with the sports authorities in Australia to allow this man to come and play the Australian Open knowing that he's not vaccinated? He's not supposed to be. If I go to Australia now and I'm not vaccinated, they will not allow me into the country.
Maar is die groot man never.
So,
Is die groot
Hier amper
never.
gevloek.
Can we hit another
Hier amper
curveball
gevloek.
here?
Yeah.
Novak Djokovic is just not vaccinated.
Yes.
That doesn't mean he's COVID positive.
Yeah.
However, imagine playing in the Aussie Open. You are known not to be vaccinated. Perhaps you are COVID positive. Now you play the game. You hit the ball that you've just touched,
Yes.
rubbed against your groin,
Yes.
and coughed all over it. And then you must see when they hit, they must go.
Yeah.
All the COVID particles then go onto the tennis ball, and those poor ball boys and ball girls then have to pick up that ball, throw it back at him. So all the people on court stand a very good chance of getting COVID.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So okay.
But
So
at least you're getting COVID from him, not just anybody.
Oh, right. So famous COVID. I got.
You are not getting COVID from Dangeni or whatsoever. You're getting it from
Djokovic.
Djokovic.
Deshaun Michael says, Mitch, it's just not a jab. Estomich says, I support Djokovic 100%. I follow him and I think vaccine should be a choice. Though he ain't vaccinated, they follow all the guidelines. He got tested. He should play.
Estovich just thinks that Djokovic is an attractive man. And
A
that's
donkey?
why-
Yeah. Estomich would never say that about me.
Yeah. About the three of us as we
Yeah.
sit here.
But she likes me because she wished me a Happy New Year.
Laat sê gaan man.
Thank you, Estovich.
Gaten Curtis Landu says, like Neville said, he's always on the move. He knew the regulations of that country. I mean, how did he think he was? Sorry, die ding het nog gespring hierso. Okay, I got it now. I mean, how did he think he was going to enter the country while not vaccinated? Is he bigger? I like this last sentence. Is he bigger than the sovereign country?
Yes.
Okay.
That is the question.
Roviera says, word I owe. It's a lot of money.
It's baie geld, man. It's
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of money, man.
Penda Ndali Shiuka says the court ruled in his favor and he's going to take part. He got an exemption and somehow they decided when he got there to revoke. The Victoria government is also at fault in this saga. Roviera says, Daai moegu moet net sy jab kry, gons.
But
Yeah.
if I could come back to Penda's comment,
Uh-huh.
I think in the whole world, Djokovic is the only person who actually wants to stay and remain in Victoria. Nobody wants to stay and remain in Victoria.
In
The
Australia.
worst place in the whole world. I'd go to North Korea before I sit in Victoria.
They said the other day, somebody said Djokovic is the only player, and that's now the time before the decision was overturned. They said Djokovic is the only tennis player who lost the match after missing 2 shots. Estomi says, I couldn't watch the show earlier yesterday, but I did watch. Coffee, I was expecting stiletto heels and a fine black dress today. Estomish, what's the weather like in Norway at the moment? Are you guys, in terms of hours, are you guys ahead of us or behind us or whatever? I know England is, I think there's a time difference of an hour or two at the moment with England, because I was speaking to Nico Kayamo, I think yesterday. He's still in London at the moment. I think they are an hour or two in front or behind. Anyway, but welcome to the show, guys. Welcome to the show. Coffee? Give us a bit the weather.
Okay, so let's talk about the weather briefly. Heavy rain possible to persist in the extreme northeast for the rest of the week in places. Please take the necessary precautions. In the meantime, in Namibia, sunny and hot to very hot over the western half of the interior. Elsewhere, partly cloudy to hot and very hot, but warm in the Zambezi region with isolated to scattered thunder showers in the northeast. But a few to isolated thunder showers in the east. A fresh to strong southwesterly wind will persist over the western half of the interior. The coast partly cloudy and cool to warm, with the wind moderate to fresh southerly to southwesterly, however strong at times in the south. Maximum temperatures for today in Gubabas today 34, Grootfontein also 34, Katima Mulilo 26, then going to the south of the country in Locust Territory, Karasburg, it is 30 degrees, so you'll be sitting in 30-degree heat while you're eating your springkaan. In Keetmanshoop 32 degrees, and then coming up to Otjiwarongo today 37, and Oshakati also 37. Then in Swakopmund 22 with Walvis Bay 25 and Windhoek 32 degrees maximum Celsius.
Koffie maak al die grabbe as dit by die suide kom.
Ja, en
As jy net noorde toe gaan, dan begin raak die nuus ernstig.
ja, daar raak jy nie ernstig.
En Oshakati.
Ja. Say me, talking about locust, it's something that I would still want to try in my lifetime.
What, to eat it?
Yeah, springkaan dipped in chocolate. Those dried ones.
Dipped
Looks
in
like
chocolate.
Yeah.
No, donkey. No, thank you.
Okay, what would you eat? What
it's-
would you try? What would you like to try properly? If you had to try something like an insect or reptile or anything.
I ate what are the worms?
Mopani
The
worms.
Mopani worms, and it was okay. Okay, I would not go and order it as a dish.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I tasted it. I usually don't like funny, weird foods like
Okay.
you know, tripe or afal or stuff.
Jy doen nie daai.
No, but my girlfriend does. She tries anything. She'll eat a snake if it does.
Nee.
Yeah.
Zelly, I love you. Yeah.
But she won't eat locusts. She's very afraid of locusts.
Is it?
Springkaan maak haar klank.
It's funny how couples complement each other because of, you know, the difference between couples.
Yeah.
And it's the same for me and Mevrouw. She's like you. She won't try anything. I think over a course period of 20 years, I made her do some stuff that she never dreamt of doing. And so, locust springkaan, I've seen how internationally they roast it.
Okay.
And on an open fire in these French restaurants or in Thailand or wherever, and then they dip it in chocolate, and it's, you can see it's
Crispy. Ne?
very crispy. I really want to try it.
No, I've checked this on YouTube where they have like these street markets in China.
Exactly.
Where they serve like cobras.
Oh yeah.
And I would want to try that. That I want to try. And what was the other thing? And scorpion. I saw them do that.
yeah,
And they put them on sticks.
Yeah.
Society.
Yeah, so society
Yeah.
yeah.
And those two I would want to try for real.
On just before I came back from Swakop, as because I was buying fish at the open market, the close to the aquarium, and there was this big kabeljou that the guys, because I was standing there looking at, because I was so fascinated how these guys, the amount of work they put in, how they fillet a big fish. So they were busy cutting up this fish, and out of this big kabeljou came out this size, the fish eggs.
Oh, right.
But it's mos in a placenta.
Yes, yes.
Dis mos nou wat jy, that's your caviar. Right
die caviar,
there.
yo.
It's your caviar. En ek staan daar en ek kyk so en hy sê, en nou pak hulle, ek vra, wat is die? Nee, sê nee, that's the caviar. That's the fish eggs.
It's expensive.
It's expensive in the restaurant.
Yeah.
And I've had caviar before, and it's very nice format in the plate. And the guys look at me and I'm like, Neville, have you ever tasted this? I said, yeah, but not like it so. I say, yeah.
Before it's processed.
Maar die ouens sê, dis blerry lekker. Wil jy dit hê? So the guys gave me this big ass placenta. Hulle het in 'n plastic sak gesit, so I came with it to Windhoek. So ek gaan dit nou hierdie naweek.
Oh, you're going to try it?
I'm gonna try that big ass placenta that was removed from the stomach of a kabeljou. Ja, ek sal julle maandag kom sê hoe smaak dit.
Jy moet bietjie bring dat ons op die show proe.
No.
Ek gaan nie.
Ons het op die show proe.
Ek gaan nie. Braji Contep says, Happy New Year, my guys. Wishing you all the best. I know I'm a bit late joining your program. Am I still welcome back to the show? No, was jy dan jou badge my broer. Daar's mos 'n probleem nie. Kim Sands, hi, good morning. Norma Good. Good morning, MMC family, and Happy New Year to you all. Norma, same to you. A Happy New Year and all the blessings for this year. Estomich says, winter snow, very cold. It's 8 o'clock. It's 8. Oh, so you guys are an hour behind us. Wow, Siboli says, Kaufi, you should not pronounce it so prim and proper. It's Zambezi, my guy.
Okay.
You must prepare for the village already now, my dear. It's 2022. Luister Moau, ne? Hierdie nonsense, ne, that you come on our show, ne? Yeah, and you just throwing, flavors here at Kaufi for the last 6 months. Yeah, as nonsense. Okay?
Will not tolerate.
Ons wil ook flavors gegooi word. Ja, asseblief. Braji Contep Mitch, moet tog nie die Lani sulke snaakse vraag vra nie, asseblief. Wat het jy die man gevra? Oh, the locust or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Try like a reptile or exotic animals.
For effort there by the Mopani Worms Coffee chip. Gaan jy? Nee, die regtig die Mopani Worms I've had.
Hoe vol is? Kyk net hoe vol is omdat wat kom hier.
What is this?
Of kom sê. Kyk net wat dit is.
We have our chef here in studio.
Vol sê nog hy vir die mense.
We have our chef. We have our chef here in studio. Philip, staan net so agter Kaufi. Laat Kaufi jou net sien. Nee, wag. Luister. Wag. Philip, can you please explain yourself? There's a mic there.
No, it's not that.
Can you please explain yourself? What the hell are you doing here?
I got a small bottle of this to taste. It is a chili curry.
Nee.
Comes from Botswana, a chef in Botswana.
Mm-hmm.
And she doesn't want to give the recipe away.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to try and redo this.
Okay.
What's in there?
Chilies and curry. But it's not burning at all. It leaves it on a cheese platter.
Kyk, Duitser se gesig.
Any meat. No, because I know you do your own chilies. Please try this. I've got a clean fork for you. Everything here.
No, I'll try
I want you to try this.
Go to him.
No. Guys,
No. The challenge
guys,
is you.
There's a chili.
Let white people eat first.
Yeah, we see it's a chili. Hold on.
That looks like a backside of a
A black side of a what?
backside.
This is not.
Hell no.
Here.
You can probably a whole rectum dan. Ek grap. Eerder kom.
Coffee, got another.
Wag. Het jy geproe koffie?
No.
Nog nie.
I'm gonna taste it now. Coffee, I need to remake this recipe. If you smell it, you don't smell the chili. It's a very nice curry paste.
Okay, here goes.
Kom, Koffie,
Save
kom.
me.
Ik root voor jou daar. Ik root voor jou daar, Koffie, kom.
Hell,
You see?
this is actually very good.
This is really, really good. I
This
want
is
to take it.
exceptionally good.
Yeah.
Koffie.
We don't want to give away the recipe, so we're trying to.
guys should
I'm going to
taste
give it to this guy, and I'm going to give it to another chef in Winter, because we need to remake this. I want to redo this.
Where does this come from?
Botswana.
Botswana.
From Botswana.
One of our guys here at Trusco who was in Botswana for the holiday,
Uh-huh.
and he had this. He brought this back from there. But
Uh-huh.
it is. I'm going to get 2 more forks for you guys because you can't.
Yeah, it's okay.
I don't know
Here.
when he had.
I don't need to wait for another fork.
Hier is dat. Ik moet wachten wanneer ik zijn naam, maar ik trust niet voor Koffie niet. Het scheelt ons nog geld. Het scheelt ons nog geld. Ik kan niet voor Koffie trust.
Can I bring you a fork?
Yeah, please.
Just give it
get
to
a
me.
fork. Okay.
No, just, yeah, I'll just eat it like that.
Kom, Heavy.
I get the story.
Try that quickly. It is.
So this is a, what?
A chili curry.
Nee.
Get 1 chili out of there. Make sure you get a chili out of there.
So what is this?
That's 2 chilies.
Okay.
Je moet ook een
with
curry
the curry
gecreëerd.
paste. But it's not burning. It's really not burning. It's not a. It is burning good.
Wow, this is nice.
Als Jay said that brandy does, doesn't like the problem.
Yeah,
That's really good.
Only if Neville says it doesn't burn.
Now, imagine you who works with chilies, who cooks chilies.
The brandy.
like that. If you can
It's
do
baie
it, you
lekker.
can do that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
There's a small little black seed in there which I can't really see what it is. I've got to find out what that is.
But
This is a whole paste, ne?
That is a whole the curry paste, olive oil, and then you've got that chilies in there.
it's very nice. Philip, thank you. But it's very nice. So how much do they charge for a little? Are you gonna do this yourself?
He does. No, they don't sell it. They just.
I think they make it at home.
It's nice. It's very nice.
He got it on a lodge. They do 50 kilograms of this at a time,
Wow.
and you will get again. But I need to take this to a couple of chefs to see if we can
Remake.
Redo this.
and get this rest. I think if you've got all the ingredients in this, then I'll be able to work with it a couple of times, make it a couple of times until I can redo this, until I can get this right.
Yeah.
The colour. It's really a colourful curry. It's a lot darker. So I thought the chilies would have been burnt on it to get the darker colour. But it's not. The chili is still very crunchy and everything. It's really nice. This is how we do food in Namibia. And in Botswana.
Estomich
And in
says
Africa.
a saliva mixing in the studio.
Yes.
Where
Yeah,
to
you
go?
know, we as men we love our salivas to mix here in the
Yeah.
studio. We don't have a problem. Philip, baie dankie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Phil.
Yeah. Braji Contep says they are already used to share. Roviera says Mitch and Drama, same WhatsApp group. Eet gons. Ja. Philip, wat word jy betaal? Jy is besig met chaos daar. Monique. Estomy says don't eat from the same spoon you all, please. Why? For what? Aye,
As
whatever.
a meet, you're so bang for coffee.
Aye. These are the people, they are scared of, for hygiene reasons,
We are
but
vaccinated.
yeah, we are vaccinated. Ek het die probleem nie. Ja.
Kan ik go? Wilma here from Informante live, ne? Wilma Pretoria says, Mora daar in Namibia. Happy New Year to you guys. Colin King Malume says, Neville, hoekom het jy ons voor de delete? Ek soek die voor
Ai,
de...
Elot sê.
Morgen.
Krrr. Tamara
Richard
Sarga.
Henkert says, fuck, ek vreet liever blare voor ek 'n worm op spring kan eet. Neville vreet ook net alles.
Ek vreet alles, my broer. Ja. Braji Contep says, Neville het jy al kat geproe? Nee. Nee. Ja, nee. Daai, ja.
We have a certain belief about cats, ne? For
yeah,
black
yeah.
people, it won't just work.
It won't work. It's like eating the devil.
Yeah, for us it's just like, hey, you see a cat at night, that could be somebody's mother.
Yeah.
Leave it.
Emily McGorges says, Braji Contep, pray for some rain, and I will bring you some from Ohangwena. Aha. Yeah, I think Braji Kontep was talking about Pada. Pada I had about 2 years ago.
Het jy nog nooit para geproe?
Nee, para het ek al geproe. Maar nee, ek het al para en para geproe.
Is it different? Neville? Neville? Come back, Neville.
'n hele bullfrog.
Luister, gaan ons reën kry vandag.
The chances for rain, not today.
Ja, nee, para is lekker.
So jy's 'n parapleeg.
Ja, ek is.
Hy wil moordpad.
Ja. Edward Pandoleni Julius says, you can't please, it's not healthy. What is not healthy? What is not healthy? Edward, you know what? And guys, and I hear what people are saying. I don't want to see my kids doing the same thing that I used to do as a kid. But I remember as kids, when Kofi eats a swart Wilson.
Yes.
Jy kan onthou, swart Wilson.
Die swart Wilson.
Kofi. It's a eet jy alleen. Ja. Out of his mouth, give it to me. Dan gee ek 'n stukkie vir Mitch, and we share one swart Wilson,
Toffee.
a toffee,
'n hele toffie.
amongst the three of us. En niks het met ons gebeur nie. Obviously, I would not want to see my daughter doing that as she plays with her friends. Okay? But nothing happened to us. I don't want to be too hygienic with everything that I do in my personal life.
What do they call that thing? Is it Uga? I almost said COD. What do they call it? No, when people are scared of it's like a what do they call, I'll remember in OCD.
Oh, OCD.
Yeah, if you have OCD or whatever, yeah.
Vaccinated people do get COVID. Saliva is the best way to infect each other for sure. Ask your health minister, Neville. You are preaching to the converted, Estomich. We have known since day one that saliva is the way to pass it.
Yes.
But I still took the spoon to taste the chili.
But I ate it from the other side.
Oh, whatever, yeah. And you know what, Estomich, the worst thing that we did is we actually touched the same spoon.
Exactly.
Don't you think that's dangerous?
And it's chili. Chili burns the virus away. It sanitizes the spoon.
Never tell me. I have never seen a homeless person die of COVID.
It's true, eh?
Or this street. People in our location drinks this stuff that they call cake in the lug. Kubus.
Kyk in die lig.
In kubus cake in the lug.
Oh,
And these people, I've never seen one of them suffer that. Like, I've never seen one of them have COVID.
it's
It's
very
these
true.
people that stay in flats and stuff.
The
But-
lines.
That has the means to be hygienic that dies.
you know what you're asking, and maybe there's not a lot of people who understand the community that you and me come from,
Yeah.
who sees this every day.
And I'm like,
I see these people, and I've never heard of any one of these people dying from COVID.
I haven't heard of any of them. These people are there, like kyk nog in die lig.
Braji Kontep says vaccinated and boosted are scared of only vaccinated unless they get booster shots, while the only vaccinated are disputing the non-vaccinated. My opinion, Amal is confused. Yo, yellow moor. Yeah, yeah. Because I don't know what you were just saying. Yeah. Vaccinated, boosted, vaccinated, unless boosted shots. Confused, non-vaccinated, only vaccinated. Ja, gaan speel fair. Praatjie content. Estomish says phobia, Mitch, is the word. Estomish says enjoy, Neville.
phobia,
Remember when
yeah.
you got COVID and almost died praying to the ancestors. I do remember. But also, I took ivermectin.
Yeah, who came up with that, Uga? Who came up with that?
Los die boere uit.
Pretoria.
Moenie begin nie. Okay?
Hey, they're gonna
I
make us
took-
do stuff, man.
I took my vaccine, I took ivermectin, I got prayed on, I prayed. There was faith and whatever. I did everything.
You just wanted to live,
I
even if you
let
don't
gelewe.
believe in this stuff.
Whatever. I didn't take any chances.
There is a time that you just have to believe in something there because something is happening to you.
Man. It's alright.
Monique, did you read Monique Papels van Week?
Wat sê sy?
Wat word jy geput? Oh ja.
Yeah, I get. Edward Panduleni Julius, when is the SWAPO Congress again? Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me that question? You could have asked the question randomly on the show. Guys, when is the SWAPO Congress? That is what you could have done. Why are you singling me out to ask this very unscrupulous questions that you are asking
There's
here?
going to be a congress.
No, there's going to be a Congress in August.
2 people attending.
Nee, vamos is baie.
Are they going to fly in with their helicopters?
Oh, on the helipad. There are 2 helipads there. I swear the other day, as Kaufi, as you come from Katatura,
Yeah.
from my mother's house, now you stand at the traffic lights where you see the new SWAPO head offices on your left and you see Katatura Hospital on your right. Okay? Now I'm sitting in the car looking at this SWAPO new building. And I look at Katatura Hospital. And you know, it has become sort of involuntarily, it just becomes natural, it seems like, with everybody if they stand on those
what you
traffic
do.
lights.
Yeah, I also do that.
Yeah.
I do the same thing.
And I looked at my right, and there was a guy standing next to me at this red traffic light,
Yeah.
looking at me. He's sitting in his car and he's looking at me and he starts laughing. And I know what he was laughing about because we were laughing about the same thing.
Yeah.
So he looks at me, starts laughing, and he points to the building.
Yeah.
And we both are thinking the same thing, and that is how sad it is.
Yeah.
Very,
very
very
sad.
sad.
Oh my goodness.
Maar you know what? Yeah,
Us, we have the money,
yeah.
and we will do it.
We don't know what was the method behind that. We still vote for the party. Some of us vote for the party. Some of us criticize the party. Some of us are not having anything to do with the party, and that is how robust and how healthy politics needs to be in the country. But
Now-
we shouldn't be quiet about if you're not happy
we
about
shouldn't. We
things.
shouldn't.
Yeah.
Just keep our mouths shut.
Kaufman,
None of that. I know exactly what that picture looks like, Neville. It is sad.
it's very sad. Kaufman, my enigste problem, my only problem with that is that we have our opposition parties renting here in Windhoek North at a house. They are renting those LPMs.
What
They
is
are
it?
renting. They are renting in Windhoek North and all that. And there is this big building. And let's say LPM wins. We get Bernardo Swarbo as the president. Is Swarbo gonna give the building
Nah.
to LPM?
Nee.
Eh, So
Wat soek 'n klomp namas in so 'n groot gebou. Dit is seker nee.
it will just be really difficult to see the ruling party renting and the opposition having the whole building with helicopters and stuff.
Ja.
I also think there are probably underground tunnels there. I'm just saying.
Nee.
It's Swapo.
Yeah. Also, yeah, we have the money. Moausi Boli says, is all the theories that Braji Conte followed that confuses his vocabulary. My bra had 'n overload van info. That's what Moausi Boli says.
But seriously, why didn't they just make it a floating headquarters kind of thing that every ruling party, if a PDM probably wins, they take over. They should just make it a whole floating.
It's a SWAPO building. It's not a political party building. It's a
is the
SWAPO building.
Finished now? Is it already?
It's
finished?
almost done.
It's almost done.
So the question that I have: are the tables going to be high enough for us to put our feet on when we work there, so we can show that our toes to one another.
Yeah. We have to put our feet down.
Will be
on
covered from head to toe.
Yes, we should drink and toast. But that's me. I'm out of here.
Kofi,
Baie dankie, Kofi.
thank you very much. You enjoy your day. Braji Contep says, why is there no corruption in Botswana? We really need SWAPO in Botswana.
Is it-
Yeah.
Naturally, as humans, we were attracted to this stuff. The violence.
Yeah.
We want to see something go wrong.
I don't want to believe in any which way that there is no corruption in Botswana.
There is.
There must be corruption in Botswana.
It's just that they have a lot of strict laws.
Yeah. Shines, welcome.
Welcome, science.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
Neville, you know that they.
There was a request.
There was a request. What was the request? That I should leave the accent behind.
I don't know.
Is dat lastig gewoon, bro? Ik wil niet de accent los mee, bro. Ik zal niet. Dat is van kaap, bro. Dat is van kaap. Dat moet de Afrika, man.
They just have strict laws, man. And they I think clubs open or bars only allowed to open after school.
1, 2, 1.
And only up till 12 o'clock, and you should be closed. If your bar is open after 12, bam.
Yeah, but I do.
Take your alcohol.
Yeah, but I do understand that Botswana has had a curfew, a standing curfew, the last 20 years.
Yeah.
That is what I understand.
They will take your whole alcohol in the bar and close down your bar if you go past curfew.
Like what we've done in the last 2 years in Namibia.
They will take your whole
And
alcohol.
that's normal over there in Botswana.
It's normal there. So and the thing is also what they do is they are court proceedings like ours. It's like if you do simple stuff like you insulted your mom, you've been disrespectful, you stole probably what, they first take you to the kotla. And that's like the community members there.
Oh, okay.
And they will probably punish you and they'll beat you up there or something, the elders or so they first take you to kotla, but from there,
Okay.
if you go to the other side, you have less chance of surviving that case.
Monique.
Is that like a tradition, or is it a civil?
No, it's like a traditional court.
Yeah, traditional court.
They call it a kotla.
Monique says, Shines het gister vir my gesê ek sal jou klap. Imagine.
The violence.
Ik heb vir haar geklap.
Het jy vir haar geklap?
My brother. Me, I give my promises.
Even the wrong ones.
Oh, my brother. We don't play you.
Natalie.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Guys, let's get down to business, man.
Natalie Nadi Orange is asking, vra toch vir Shines wie leer hom Afrikaans? Estamich says, Shines, waar het hierdie comment nog gegaan? BJ.
I'm glad it disappeared.
Yeah, it disappeared. Okay, DMC Sizzle says, Mitch, the building was built on SWAPO land with SWAPO money. So no way will it be passed on to any other political party.
It's not a coalition building.
Also, yeah, thank you. Also, they don't need a hospital. They can make one of the floors a hospital. They will be treated there. Yella can chip. Yeah, so
I just feel it's unfair for LPM to be renting in Windhoek North.
Edward Panduleni says, Braji Gontep, every country has its own culture. Hello Proclear, says Braji Gontep. Yeah, that's just some of the comments. Guys, one or two things that I quickly want to touch on. Somebody shared, and one of our colleagues this morning shared a very creative trick with me this morning in how to save money. And hear me out. I know none of you wants to listen to this how to save money theory on the 11th of January, knowing that we don't have any money. So how can you have a discussion with me about saving money if I don't have any money?
But maybe it's just for the future reference.
No. That is exactly. So
Help you the next January so
True.
you're a better person. I mean,
True.
I can't wait for January so that like I'm really tired of being born again. Can't wait
Yeah.
for this January to go.
Yeah.
So Marius gave me this trick. They say there are 53 weeks in a year.
Right.
Okay? There are 53 weeks in the year. If you start this week with $10, okay? You put $10 in a little envelope. Next week you put in $20 in that envelope. The third week you put in $30 in the envelope. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. For 53 weeks. What he told me, by the last week of the year, your payment will be $540 or something like that. That's what he said. I still need to go and make the calculation just to be sure exactly what he said. But what he said is, by that time, you should have roughly around $14,500 in your possession if you keep that up every week of the month.
But you know how it's not gonna work.
I understand. Whoa. Don't come here with your stories here. Okay?
It's not that simple.
Stephanus James Ananias already just rejected my theory of 53 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how many weeks are there in a year, but I can, and I'm speaking under correction here, but what he said is, if you keep this up 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, jy gaan net so aan. Jy gaan net so aan. And you just put the money away. You just put the money away. You just put the money away. You should be able to sit with $14,000 by the end of the year.
Yep.
And what can you do with 14,000 at the end of the year? You can bamba chill with the
you
big
can
boys.
Yeah, and you can travel. The problem, Neville, the problem about us is to be able to keep up that, you need to sacrifice a lot in your life. You need to stay away from a lot of habits for you to actually keep up that. You cannot be drinking every week and still do that.
Shines, can you save money?
Well, I can save money, but sometimes I really have a problem with saving money.
By force, I can say.
Because my theory when it comes to money saving is the fact that when you save money, whatever money you save, whether it's $10, it remains just that.
Mm-hmm.
It remains just a $10. A penny saved remains a penny. 2 weeks later, whatever. I am more of a person, let's invest the money.
What is investing the money?
You know, probably if I have a $50 receipt, of course you cannot invest the $50, but I'm just saying, like, a good example is that whatever money you have, if you could make it multiply, that's my belief and that's my theory and that's how I've been,
No, explain your theory.
for as much as I can remember. Look, I've always been, trying to do anything that can multiply whatever I have instead of saving it, because when I save it, remains just that. It doesn't grow.
Okay, but I hear what you say,
Yeah.
and it makes sense what you say, but I also need to understand the analogy of what you are saying, because to put away a mere $10 or $20 that you perhaps don't see the true value of it now, because you need to be completely oblivious about the $10 or $20.
Yeah, you need to be.
You need to be oblivious about it. You need to ignore it and put it away, instead of looking at as the so-called investment that you do talk about. Because when it comes to investment, because investment needs to be a capital project that you do run,
Yeah.
and you need to have a clear plan as to your capital project that you want to invest in. That is really something else. That could be vanaf block af and op.
Yeah.
But if you take little money that we, daai bier Van 15
Daai
rand.
kwai.
Daai kwai.
Pakkie, yeah.
If we just take some of those, just a small pocket change.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
it makes a whole complete sense. I mean, look, you could let's say never you get run about. Okay, let's forget about it now. Let's just say every 10% of what you get.
Natalie says, Shines, praat by die mic asseblief.
I'm talking on the mic like never. I think something.
There you go. It's you.
When you supposed to fix it yesterday?
When Kalfi is here,
Yeah.
everybody can hear Kalfi.
But I'm not new in the studio, but this is not how we should be speaking on the mic. We shouldn't be supposed to be like this.
You speak
Yeah,
like
but-
an R&B artist, bro, on the mic.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so what I was saying is,
Yeah,
you
what's
know, at some point, you know, if I think saving comes up to, you know, you can take 10% of your earnings, then you can save that, and then maybe you can take 20% and reinvest it, and then you can use whatever you have. Maybe that would make sense. But if you just keep saving, you know, to me, I don't think it works.
Mohausi Boli says, the problem is people prefer quick rich schemes instead of delayed gratification. Other people are already being blue ticked after depositing their $300. Latest local pyramid scheme. There you go. There you go. Thank you, Mohau. Yeah. Thank you.
Never. I think for me, the way it will work for me best is take a habit that I want to stop and see how much I use or spend on this habit, like cigarettes. Like, I buy like 5 packs in a week. That's just like 5 packs in a week, and a pack is about $40. And I can be like,
How many cigarettes do you smoke per day?
they probably 10 to 12. It just depends. If you have a Nama girlfriend, you need to smoke cigarettes. It's just that. It's just a rule. It's unwritten rule.
You know,
You need
there was a meme that was saying that. How much is a cigarette? How much is a cigarette?
a cigarette right now. It's about $5, bro. You'll get a promo for $3. Yeah.
Okay,
Daniel is $5.
And one how much is one brick? Is I think it's one about $2.50. So yeah, I've been smoking.
They don't equate. They don't equate
Yeah, I've
that
been-
gratification.
Yeah, I've been smoking imagine a whole Grove Mall smoked by this young brother right here.
I just want to do calculations quickly. Let me say 40
Wow.
times 5. That in a week, that's 200. And you said how many weeks are there in a month? In a year? Is that
A month is about 4 weeks.
so? We have 12.
Oh wow.
I think 53 is correct.
Yeah. So we have 12 months, so 53. So that would give me almost $10,600. If I think it will make more sense for me if I have to say, okay, this happened. I want to quit.
You want to quit this habit?
And what I was spending on this habit,
How
I'm
long have
putting
you?
away.
How long have you been smoking?
I think for 3 years now, 3 to 4. Yeah, 4 years.
So let's say in a day, how many cigarettes do you take roughly? Would you say?
Like I said, 10 or 12. And it depends on the girlfriend's mood also. Probably the whole pack.
So when you're stressed, you literally smoke.
You
You could double it.
yeah. And when you are also out drinking, every smoker knows if you are drinking, you tend to smoke a bit more. So yeah, you'll probably smoke 2 packs in one day.
So firstly, you need to cut off drinking because it makes you smoke more.
Yeah. And then you have to come to the
You
smoking.
have to come to the smoking part because it makes you smoke more, and then you have to come to the girlfriend part because when you are stressed, you smoke more.
So I have to
You gotta allow.
I have to eliminate everything.
Yeah.
No, but what's a habit that you do that you think you spend a lot of money on that you would want to cut off probably and just
You're asking me a question now. It's difficult.
I will do that with smoking, like
Yeah.
starting from probably next week. I'll do that with smoking and try
Okay.
to save up.
Don't tell anybody about what you want to do.
Okay.
Just do it.
Yeah, I'll do
Ja.
it, man.
Masha Limasha, 52 weeks in a year. Waar het julle skool gegaan? Nou Masha Limasha, wat jy moet doen is gee die regte nommer. So you have a counter argument by James, by Stephanus James Ananias, who said there are 52 weeks in a year. So what is die story nou? Mitch, dan rook jy mos erg soos 'n kerkklooster. Okay? Ja,
I think
Natalie
it's
Orange says, Mitch, jy rook nie, jy stoom. Ja. Braji Gontep says, mense skuld meer op Tamba as wat hulle kan spaar. MTC het hulle vas soos 'n shark. Ja. Yeah. We will have a little bit of talk, Lieve Iskia, about the soccer issue. Yeah, it's quite a burning issue for me. There was a comment that I wanted to read here by Franco Jose. Moro, compliments to the new year. Is this 2022 is a year of surprises. I hope everyone is aware of the James Webb Telescope satellite, which was launched on the 28th of December, roughly moving 20 to 2,800 miles per second. The satellite cost over $10 billion. The purpose of the satellite is to reveal what caused the Big Bang Theory and 100 years before the Big Bang. Franco, it's a heavy.
That's a heavy.
That's very heavy so early in the year to come and give us. Franco, is there not something else you want to share with us?
Franco, we just arrived. Chill, boss.
No, guys. leave
Big
Franco.
Bang Theory.
Franco's an analyst. He's an analyst.
Sit now by the mic. People are complaining the whole time.
I need to fix that because I know there's a problem there.
Yeah, you should fix
Can
it
I
after the
can I
show.
ask people the question while you sit there? When Kofi was in the studio, could you guys hear Kofi properly? Okay? Compared to when Shines is sitting behind the mic.
Never.
Ek vra net.
Come and say you eat, right? We built up the studio. We operated the studio. I know I've used this mic before. And as I'm talking, I was even supposed to hear myself, but I can only hear you guys. That means something is wrong with this mic.
Ek word van
I
myself.
know something is wrong with it. I can hear you guys clearly. Like something is wrong with this mic. It's not supposed to be like this. Somehow, somewhere there, I need to come and check after.
Okay.
I need to fix some stuff.
Okay, Masha Lee Masha. Ja, Neville J het gesê 53. Okay,
It's
okay.
52.
Okay. Yeah, it's 52.
Guys, Neville is an out topic.
Yeah.
Don't blame him.
Ons eet altyd. Neville is rounding up, not rounding off.
It's always
Like a
Rounding up.
minister.
Asseblief.
Yeah. Estomish says, while cigarettes there are cheap, a package here is 150. What is it? Kroner or what?
And how many are they?
Almost 250 Namibian dollars.
Wow.
Wow.
No, it's expensive.
That's expensive. Yo. Tayshawn says, so when Maria left, she left with her decor. What decor did she leave with?
You know what? Yeah, they don't see.
The TVs that were here.
Oh, yeah.
Mouse Bolly says, los verschyns, swart mense is altyd reg. Los soms. Estomish says,
Asseblief.
Shines and Coffee has different voices. We can't decide, Neville. Okay, I understand.
Shines is a shy guy.
It's a shy guy.
That's what Braji Kondep says.
Yeah. So to come back to the discussion, guys. So I think at the end of the day, it's important that each one for him or herself. But it's important that we need to find ways how to sustain ourselves throughout every day, week, month, year.
And I think sometimes it's also we also need to have some financial discipline, I believe. I mean, it's not really just because we don't know how to save, but sometimes it's also our habits. You know how we spend money. We spend more than we earn. There is a good saying that's saying if you don't earn like them, don't spend like them. You know, and this is a problem. We want to spend like
Shines, can you say that again slowly so people hear what you say? Because it's very important what you just said now.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
what I was saying is, you know, we should also work
just the
on
phrase.
our-
If you don't,
if you don't earn like them,
yes.
do not spend like them.
Very important.
if you are toddler, don't spend like a big boy.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Vosia Alana Greenwood shines met sy bedroom set voice.
Hey.
King size bed voice.
Hey,
He's putting us in the groove.
hey, what happened?
What's a groove?
The groove.
Mohausi Bolly. There's some kickback from Mohausi Bolo. Nie vir my nie.
Yeah, no, of course. I know some of y'all would prefer a big of a whiskey. So, we don't blame. Everybody have what they prefer. We never judge. Actually, we just let people be and choose whatever they want to choose. You will choose.
And no, but when we are talking about
guys are full of
financial
shit.
discipline here, and it's really painful, like what we were talking about the other day. This also puts like you'll find family members, and it's only one person who is like a breadwinner, and this person would try to set up the people like, okay, verkoop sê miskien sê broertjie, okay, verkoop JD laat jy vir jou dit en dit kan maak. And most of the times this puts a lot of stress on one person. Like if you check like a Karatura household, it's always just mostly there's only one person that's a breadwinner in most houses.
Yeah.
And this leads this person into the cash loans, the what, and the financial burden just becomes so much, and it can lead you to depression and all that. I've seen that happen to a young man that I know, seen that happen to him because everything was on him, and he suffered depression. He lost the job even later because jy word elke dag gebel.
Outere.
Yeah.
And now people at your work think you are not financially disciplined because everything you take, then you come to work, you take a salary advance, what. But they think you're doing this for alcohol, you're doing this for what, you're doing this, and you are not financially disciplined. But it's because of all these burdens that you're having there and everybody that you need to support. So now your status at work becomes something else. People be like, oh, hy sal nou 'n R5 vra. Hy sê nog nie taxi geld nie.
Mitch,
No.
Mitch. Don't get to that point. It's a very dangerous
Yeah, it is.
saying. Look, we are all having problems.
Yep.
But let me tell you something. There is something that says there are those that come from families where their parents look up to them. And there are those that come from families where they look up to their parents.
Yeah.
Of course, we are
Yeah,
different.
I agree with you.
But again, all those things all come to strategic planning and discipline. Discipline really matters. You can earn $5,000, and you can still sustain yourself and everybody who you support than someone who earned $20,000.
How, Shanks? How would you? I'm talking about a guy that worked at a bank as a supervisor.
All right.
That couldn't take it. I'm just saying this is what I saw from outside. This is just me seeing it from the outside. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm just saying this is what we see
So
like
you're talking
from the
about black
outside.
tax, literally. You're talking
Black
about
tax, bro. Black tax has put a lot of us in
Of course.
depression mode, man.
Of course. But you see that you can't run away from it.
Yeah.
Something that you can't run away from it, what do? You live with it. You find ways to survive. You find ways to live with it. So you're not gonna sit here and have excuses because you are in black tax. You're not the only one, and you're not the first one. You're not gonna be the last one neither. You have to find ways you can survive and live with it.
So you need to find a way to live with that $5,000. Is that what you're
You
saying?
have to find ways. If it means
Wait. Huh?
If it means go and look for side hustles, go and do it.
Oh,
That's what I mean.
Because what I understood you saying that the 5,000 that you have, and it was a fight that I had with Maria and with Cubase in studio late last year, where, and for some of you viewers out there and listeners out there who remember this, I was sitting in that chair where you're sitting, and I made it very clear that it is impossible that you can have a certain quality of lifestyle if you only live on a singular stream of income.
Yep.
Not in this world.
It is impossible. Maria and Cuba is, no, you need to live within your means, and you need to live within your means.
How?
Of course you need to live within your means. But it's stupid to think that my salary, the one and only salary that I receive, will be able to sustain me with every want and need that I have in my life.
What does your salary do?
What does your salary do?
Your salary only helps you get paid, to go to work, to come to work, to get paid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You are in a circle.
yeah.
You get money.
Your salary is a whole
Money.
cash loan.
Yeah, you use money. You get
Yeah, you're in
money.
a circle.
You get money literally. To use it for taxi fares to come to work to get money. You are in a circle. Where you started is where you complete the circle. You're not gonna survive if you don't have anything. Now, this is what we're talking about when we say the power of the mind. There's so many other activities that you can do.
And Quentin,
as long as
even
it's not taken away from your 8 to 5.
yeah, and you know what, and it's one of the things that Quentin has been teaching all of us
Yeah.
over the years as an entrepreneur, as a seasoned entrepreneur. As much as the good benefits that we do get as as Trustco employees and good salaries that we are getting paid, and he's been reiterating that for a long time. You need to do more. Bring your entrepreneurial skills. Do some stuff out there.
Yeah.
Get yourself out there. You are a budding comedian. You do music shines or whatever else that you're doing. But it's important that when it comes to conduits, you need to have other conduits of income.
Yeah.
You need to create conduits or streams where you are sure that, you know what, and most of us, like you do say, your salary pays for your house, it pays for your groceries, it pays for your insurance,
Clothing, to
your
look
clothes or whatever,
At work.
and that's it.
It's a whole cycle. It's a
Okay.
whole cash loan of
Yeah.
energy.
Tayshawn says a lot of black people don't know how to start generational wealth. Break the chain. Even if you get 10K, open a koeka shop, employ your cousin, grow the business. Dit sê is tog vroeg vir sulke topic. Kom ek gaan drink by 'n vrou se bar. Ja, that is Tayshawn right there. Okay?
Asian moet al dit alcohol.
Dion Shizzle says somebody said guys don't compete with thieves.
Yep.
Remember, referring to the big boys, Kama, these are corrupt people that steal our money, and you just a salaried individual.
They call us salary boys most.
Not only thieves, just don't compete with anybody. That's
Yeah.
where the depression
Yeah,
comes from.
yeah.
That's where you feel left out.
Yeah.
Depression comes eventually. Because you feel like you're not doing anything. You're not doing better. You're not where you're supposed to be because you feel like someone is there. You don't even know how they got there.
Yeah.
In fact, you just saw them there. They took a shortcut. You are using the stairs. Come on.
Yeah, Franco Jose, thank you for that advice. I will pass it on to Quentin. It says Quentin must teach his colleagues how to become stock exchange scammers. Well, yeah, whatever.
We're not scared.
No, it's all right. Whatever. There is one or two other comments that I wanted to read. Franco Jose says, color text, I believe, is best for a young man. Move your girlfriend into your mother's house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take a loan to buy a vehicle and pump it.
GTI.
That's
Come on, GTI, bro. And drop it.
That-
Suspension.
that is what
The
Franco
whole
Jose
thing
is
is
saying.
colored tax is paid by the parents. Yeah. The black tax is was usual. It
Yeah.
comes from the kid to the parents and the family there.
And the whole
There is a
community.
The whole community.
There's a saying that say we want to live a Hennessy lifestyle while our salary is a black label. So don't force a Hennessy lifestyle on black label salary. Live within your means. There is Natangwe Ipinge Shikongo. That is
That's
what
exactly what we say. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
You got a point, man. Man, what you don't know, man.
And it's
Yeah.
like for me, what it all boils down to is the mindset of grinding. You find some people that just want to be comfortable and just get that salary and and then go to have a loan or what. Some people have the grinding mindset, like I have to push. I have to have at least 5 streams of income.
Especially
Yeah.
the you know, sorry guys if I'm going to offend somebody, but sometimes I'm really brutally honest person, especially the so-called academics. You know, when someone feel like they have a qualification, right? They never want to go and stand in a tree and sell apples on a weekend because they feel like you have a degree. But let me tell you something: your degree is actually just nothing. It's merely a paper that, you know, you will be in there. You'll just be an employee for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
You'll never employ somebody if you think like that. You know.
Quentin
So
was
it's
saying,
striking a balance.
and very true what you're saying, Shines. If there's one thing that, and what Quentin also shared with us, I think for many years, was that a degree, hear me out, a degree is basically only an indication that you can be trained.
Yeah.
You are trainable.
Yeah.
But your degree is no indication how successful you will be in life one day.
Yeah.
So
That's important.
and I know a lot of people with degrees upon degrees who are lazy, who don't want to work. They don't want to try something new. They want to be the academic because ek is slimmer as Jay.
Government moet my werk
Jay's a
geven.
mugu, Mitch Jay's a mugu, etc., etc., etc. I've met so many people with grade 10 who are grinders, who make triple the money that I make. But their drive, their direction, their hunger that
Their
they have,
focus is there.
Their focus is there.
Man,
That's
like,
when it comes down to, you know, the balance between the IQ and the EQ. You need to understand that a lot of people with high IQs are hardly make it in the industry, but those are the ones that really great academic grades, great, you know. But when it comes to the industry, this is where you have to, you know, you need to know what you're doing, and you need to understand the practicality around the corner,
Yeah.
not just the theory basis of it.
Neville, I know dudes that have engineering degrees and what that are piano DJs.
There you go.
Yeah, and I don't understand how it comes to that.
There you
I
go.
know a guy that studied IT, like he's a programmer, but he does sales. He loves sales. He loves doing sales. He didn't go for what he did, what he studied for.
Yeah.
And even a lot of them that are even artists, they do music 8 to 5 now, and it's not happening for them in the industry probably, but they still do it. They just love it. So sometimes you go out there and because of pressure, you go waste 7 years,
Studying
something that you're not gonna use.
But I wouldn't say always that, you know, when education is a waste. It's good to have an education, and it's something that I do push my children to have
Yeah.
as a fallback if life does not work out for you.
Yeah.
So I will not tell my children not to go and
No,
study.
never. I'm saying we should make it clear for our kids, or we should know, or just monitor our kids and see what their interests are, and let them study. Let them use those 7 years for something they want to go to. If they want to do music, let they go study performance arts. That's gonna help them. That's a paper that can back what they would love to go do. But now you are paying this whole 300,000 for what? And after 7 years, your kid becomes a piano DJ. I cannot comprehend that.
Yeah, Estomich says, yeah, but I hear what you say. Estomich says, Neville, instead of saving $1,000, best to start with 500. You let your bank deduct 500 into your savings account that you can't touch until the end of the year. Good advice, Estomich. We've been there many times before.
Yeah.
Daar gaan smeekons die bank sê, maak toch los. Franco Jose.
And the bank says we can't. They say, oh my God, do it.
Yeah. Franco Jose says, best strategy to create a stream of income: be friends with a chartered accountant. Have a white friend, either German or Alani, that's into farming. Know someone at customs. Yeah, Franco Jose.
Franco is
Okay,
this is a
Baie
whole organized
besig.
crime. Organized crime
That
strategy.
surely sounds like organized crime.
I think Franco is becoming the father of corruption. The founding father of corruption. I need your number, bro. Because I want to be a follower.
Yeah.
A whole blueprint to organized crime, bro.
Anyways, guys, time is up, but I really wanted us to talk about the Angolan chaos, but I think we will talk about it tomorrow.
Yeah, we can talk about it tomorrow. But guys, thank you so much for joining us once again today. Yes, some of you are probably still on holiday. People are getting back into the groove of things slowly but surely. We will be speaking on Monday. Yeah, schools did start. When did school start? Yesterday or today?
Yeah, on Monday.
Yesterday.
Yesterday.
We had a quick discussion with the executive director in the Ministry of Education, Ms. Annette Steenkamp. We had a brief discussion with her this morning. She will be on our show early next week to come and give us the lowdown as to how things are basically shaping up in terms of uptake. I know there are a lot of new students or new learners who are still out of school, who don't have a place in school.
Yeah.
And please get your questions ready for early next week as we engage for your questions on education. But it would be interesting. But once again,
Education.
thank you so much for joining us today.
Education.
Education.
Education. Yeah, education, man.
Guys, thank you so much. And asseblief, what about these kids of us that are going through grades? Skier, markama, want to be a lawyer and engineer. Hoe sê jy nou vir hulle dat sal die job nie? Mitch, I also have a sales and business development certificate, but I'd love to drink. You
know who's coming there?
Yeah,
You know
yeah.
who's coming. Come on, Jella.
Sharp.
This is your girl and singer, and you are listening to the most informative, educative, and most entertaining midday show in Africa.
From 9 a.m. till 12 midday on Informante Radio.
Hey yo, here we go, man. Who am I? I used to be the voice of the streets, the voice when it's beef, too quick for me to pull up my hit. Who am I? The truth, the realest is me. Thank you, Lord, for all the blessings, made a man out of me. Who am I? I used to be the voice of the streets, the voice when it's beef, too quick for me to pull up my hit. Who am I? The truth, the realest is me. Thank you, Lord, for all the blessings, made